So just finished watching that City versus Chelsea game. Chelsea win 2-0 in the end. And it was just a terrible performance by City. Not going to sugarcoat it. Well, I'll start from the start. So the first half, we were doing okay. We were doing okay in terms of possession and playing our usual kind of style, but we weren't playing a striker. And I think that really harmed us in the first half because we had good chances, but just no one to finish them. Even though we were doing okay in terms of possession and stuff, I'd still class it as a poor first half because we weren't getting enough shots off. We just really weren't getting enough shots off. And then Chelsea scored towards the end of the first half. They definitely didn't deserve a goal at that point in the game, but they got it. And what can you do at that point? Well, what we decided to do was bring on Gabriel Jesus for the second half, but Sané was took off. I have no idea why you take Sané off instead of Mahrez in that situation. Mahrez started off on the right and then moved into the middle, and he was pretty much non-existent, but then instead of taking him off, Sané was took off and Mahrez was moved back onto the wing, and Gabriel Jesus didn't do what we were hoping for. We thought he'd probably solve the problems of the first half in terms of finishing, but his form is really off at the moment. It was that hat-trick against Shakhtar, but, two penalties in that, you can't really be too happy with that, But, and other than that, he's really been struggling. And this was another game where he was pretty much invisible. And while we're missing Aguero right now, and obviously De Bruyne as well. Last year, De Bruyne was so pivotal in the win at Stamford Bridge. He actually got the winner, and he was just amazing in that game. And now, a year later, we're just struggling that much against him. It's just not a good sign at all. Obviously, we're doing amazing in the league apart from that, but it's not really the result. It's the way we played and, the lack of desire, I guess. And one silver lining of the game was, well, I don't really want to call it a silver lining because that was just a terrible game, and this isn't a good thing. It's just something to soften the blow. Is that Foden got brought on, and he did inject a bit of life into the team. To be honest, he had a good moment where he chased after Ruben Loftus-Cheek and got the ball back at a stage in the game where people for City weren't really sprinting after players to get the ball back. It's kind of lacklustre at that point in the game, but he injected a bit of life back in, and hopefully he's got the other players on the toes at this point because he's no longer the player that gets brought on when you're 3-0 up, and you don't have to worry about him taking your spot in the squad because for Pep to bring him on when we're 2-0 down, at the start of the season or last season, that would have just been the least likely scenario when we're 2-0 down, and I'm glad that he did it. I think it's time for Foden to get that step up, and I do believe that this was that step up. He did amazing against them in the Community Shield, and now he did okay when he came on. There wasn't much time to do anything, and obviously you've got to be relying on your squad mates as well, and they were kind of all just over the game at that point, it seemed like. But he came on, he did his part, and there wasn't enough time for him to get an assist or a goal, unfortunately, but I'm glad that he did it, and hopefully it'll have an effect on the other players. Sterling, I'll give credit to him, right up until the end of the game, was still chasing after everyone. But there was a few moments in the game. Laporte and Delph did this a few times where we were sticking to our kind of short passing possession-based game, and then they just do a long ball that either goes to Chelsea's players or goes out of play, and you just think, what was the need for that at all? Why not just stick to what you know? It was like they were kind of getting impatient. Delph did not really have a good game at all, I wouldn't say, but we all love him, but he's not a left back. He's never been a left back, and he can manage there, but when you're against the best teams, you can get exposed sometimes. But he still is a great player, and in that second half, that was just unbelievably odd from City because it's like that first goal just took everything out of us, and then we were still kind of playing our game though. The finishing still wasn't there, and then I saw a stat at one point. City had 11 corners, they had 0 corners, and then a minute later, David Luiz scores his header off a corner. And you just think, wow, it's so typical, but I can't really complain too much because we didn't really deserve a win. Don't know if I can say Chelsea really deserved a win because they weren't great either, but I certainly won't be complaining that we were robbed or anything like that. And just on to the next one at this point. City's 16-game unbeaten run comes to an end. Actually, a lot longer than that if you're just counting Premier League games. It's been a while since we've had a 2-0 loss, something like that. Usually it's just, when we do lose, it's very close. It's kind of just shades of Liverpool where we go down by more than one and then, you just think, how much do the players really want it? But when De Bruyne and Aguero come back into the squad, I think that we'll just do so much better. How couldn't you do better? And we have been getting by well without them, but against the elite teams, we really do need them. And on to the next one, really. Let's hope United can salvage a point, and let's hope we aren't as terrible next game. So yeah, that's it for this one.